When no-code platforms like Bubble first appeared, they changed the way companies and founders build products. That basically solved one of the biggest pain points that the software industry was suffering at the time, which was that software, not only the entry-level products, but also complex software takes time and it takes a lot of money to build. Then no-code tools like Clyde, Adalo, Bubble, and the list goes on, showed up in the market and started changing basically the way we build products and created a whole market of low-code and no-code development. And now we are witnessing a much larger shift in the industry, which is basically vibe coding. V0, Lovable, Bold, and all of these new vibe coding tools, even Cursor, are basically just shifting the way people build products. And not only people without technical background, but also really senior software engineers, especially with tools like Cursor. And I keep getting this question all the time. Why use Bubble in 2025 when you can use all these Gen AI tools that allow you to build faster without even doing any kind of software development? So that's exactly what I want to address in this video. As someone who's been building products for the past 10 years with non-technical founders, I've both participated in projects doing custom code, but also no code. And nowadays at Jams, we're doing both things. We're building products in Bubble, and we're also building a few products using vibe coding tools like V0 connected with tools like Supabase. So having been through this 10-year journey, I do have some thoughts in this vibe coding versus no code versus custom code debate that I want to address and share with you in this video. So drop what you're doing right now. Obviously keep watching this video, but change your tabs, go to V0, type in, create an incredible landing page for my dog food delivery business. And in 30 seconds, you're gonna get a great website for your company. That's basically the power of vibe coding. And not only think about it from a website standpoint, also with Cursor, for example, you can have a great software development copilot that not only will help you if you're non-technical, but also it will help you if you are actually a software engineer. The promise that comes with this is just incredible. You can build complex interfaces literally in minutes or a couple of hours instead of days or weeks. There's really pretty much no learning curve at all. Just describe what you want. You get clean React code that actually works. And all of these tools allow you to deploy instantly to a live URL you can share with anyone. We've obviously been experimenting with V0 since it came out, and obviously with all the other vibe coding tools as well. And yeah, the speed is just mind-blowing. What used to take days in deep design Figma work or even more in development, now it just takes a couple of hours. And especially for non-technical founders, it feels like a breakthrough. You don't need to learn any kind of no-code tool like Bubble or hire developers. You can just get started yourself. So is Bubble done? Are they going to die? Why isn't everyone just getting out of Bubble and rushing into tools like V0? The excitement obviously needs a little bit of context. V0 and similar vibe coding tools are great, but obviously they have not only limitations, but a lot of considerations you need to keep in mind if you're going to make a decision around your business to use this kind of tools. If you take V0, for example, you will be able to ship a lot of things, but actually it will take a software developer or someone that knows what they're doing to build something that can actually scale for a functioning business. First, security. Most vibe code apps will actually run on the client side. So this means much of your app logic is going to be exposed basically publicly on the web. And that includes potential sensitive data handling. For simple projects like conversion landing pages or a basic dashboard without much sensitive data, this could just work fine. But if you want to build something more complex on top of a functioning business with actually, sensitive data, that's not going to be the best decision. Second, database limitations. V0, Lovable, and all these tools won't provide you with a very robust database infrastructure right out of the bat. They do integrate with tools like Supabase, or you could actually even, vibe code your way into integrated with a custom backend or any kind of API. But obviously, you really need to know what you're doing with this especially if you're building something for a real business that already exists. Tools like Bubble actually give you a complete database and backend you can work on, all within the same secure infrastructure. Third, maintenance and iteration. Vibe-coded apps just become harder to maintain as they grow. Making changes to an AI-generated code base can be tricky because AI doesn't always create code in a really consistent, modular way, which is basically what a software developer would do. With a no-code tool like Bubble, the structured environment makes ongoing maintenance much simpler and obviously more reliable. And finally, there's the stability factor. Tools like Bubble have been around for years at this point, and all of these vibe coding tools are just brand new. If you're gonna trust your entire business to building a vibe coded app within these tools, you do have a little bit of risk because these apps, they're just growing, yes, and they are pouring millions of dollars into making them actually get better, but you never know what's going to happen with these businesses. So when does it make sense to use V0 or vibe coding tools? Based on our experience, here are some of the perfect scenarios for this. Number one, prototyping and validation. Nothing beats V0 for validating ideas. You can build a functional prototype in hours that looks like a real thing and use it to test all your assumptions, either with real customers or just with stakeholders. Landing pages and marketing sites. V0 can do pretty beautiful websites, responsive landing pages that can deploy instantly. 3, internal tools with limited complexity. For simple dashboards or data visualization tools, vibe coding apps are just great. Number 4, MVPs with a plan to rebuild in the future. If you need to deploy something to the market fast, start gaining traction, start getting validation, knowing you will then get out of that code base to something more reliable and scalable is just great. Let me give you a real example from a recent conversation we had with one of our clients. A prospect came to us saying, hey, we have this business idea, we want to inject a little bit of money into it, let's build an app. And then with that app, we're going to go get customers. And basically what I told them is, listen, we can do it. It's going to cost you a little bit of tens of thousands of dollars. Cheap for a software product since we use no code, but still expensive for their kind of context. And basically what I told them is, let's work together for 1 week. Only 5 days of work. We collaborate together, we do a few meetings, and we build a prototype that looks really similar to the final thing, and you can have that product, white label it for clients, and go and pitch it to potential customers. Start getting that conversation going, start maybe even getting some contracts or actual customers giving you money, and then we can build whatever we want. They loved that approach, and in just 5 days of work, we deployed a very basic app using nothing but V0, all dummy data, and they are right now pitching it, prospecting it, and getting new customers for their new startup. My take is that that's a great sweet spot for all the vibe coding tools out there right now. Now, when should you stick with no-code tools like Bubble? Here's where Bubble still has the advantage. Number 1, complex business logic. So if your app has intricate workflows, conditional processes, or complex data manipulation, Bubble's visual programming environment gives you way more control. Number 2, user authentication and permissions. Bubble has robust built-in systems for user management, role-based permissions, and data access rules that are just way more secure and easier to implement than in vibe code tools. 3, payment processing and financial applications. For anything involving payments or any kind of sensitive data, I would definitely go with something like Bubble. There's a big ecosystem of plugins, and they do have their own API connector tool, which makes it really easy to connect to any kind of external API. 4, long-term scalable applications. If you're building something with the intention of scaling it to thousands of users and continuing to evolve it over the years, Bubble provides a more stable foundation. One of our clients we work with to this day, they run their entire operation on Bubble. They handle user accounts, payments, permissions, customer contracts, complex workflows, and they're integrated with multiple third-party services. We could have vibe coded that initially at first back in the day, but now in present moment, that would take a complete custom development team that can handle that kind of complexity. Obviously, I wouldn't maintain and evolve that product within V0. Then there's the hybrid approach, which is actually what's working best, not only for us, but also for most of our clients. We're using V0 all the time for fast prototyping and rapid validation. And then we move on to building things that are already really well defined with Bubble. For example, we recently built a private community app for a private equity business. We used V0 across the entire discovery and design process. Every single conversation we would have about the users and the different user flows that they could do inside the app, we would then take those insights into V0 to create one seamless prototype. The prototype didn't have the final design, but it looked good enough so that our customers and stakeholders within the business could make decisions and give us feedback really fast. As long as those user journeys and prototypes would get validated and approved, we would then move into Figma, do all the hi-fi, really high quality work, and then into Bubble. And this basically gives you the best of both worlds. Whenever you are ideating and defining things, vibe coding tools are just perfect. And especially for the fact that you can make changes really quickly, and you can also add a bunch of dummy data to basically simulate the real thing, giving the stakeholder or the final user or customer a real sense of what's going on. So how do you decide in your own business whether to use a vibe coding tool like V0 or to start building directly within a no-code tool like Bubble? I suggest you ask yourself these questions. Number one, how quickly do I need to validate this idea? If speed is critical, go with V0. Number two, how complex is the business logic? More complexity points toward building something custom, so probably Bubble. Number three, what kind of data am I handling? Sensitive data or user accounts? Go with Bubble. Number four, what's my technical capacity for maintenance? Do I have limited technical resources? Bubble may be easier to maintain. Number five, what's my budget? Do you have very limited budget for initial testing? Then go with vibe coding tools like V0. And number six, what's my growth plan? Are you planning to scale significantly? Then Bubble provides a more proven path. The answers to these questions will guide you towards the right solution for you. And just remember, this isn't necessarily an either-or decision. Go hybrid, and that will give you the benefit of both worlds. The truth is, we are in an incredible time, both for non-technical and also technical founders and entrepreneurs. The time to build is here. It's a great era to start shipping products. And platforms like Bubble, but also AI-based platforms like V0 are just getting better and better every single day. Honestly, it's never been easier to bring your ideas to life. So my advice, try to stay pragmatic and always focus your business, especially if it's a functioning, scaled business you need to keep running on a day-to-day basis. Just try to avoid getting caught up in this AI hype cycle that's going on right now. If you are a non-technical founder or you're running a business right now trying to figure out the next move for your tech stack or for your product, drop a comment below. I'll love to know your story. And if you found this video helpful, give us a like and subscribe to keep seeing more videos in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.